Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. Hope you're having a good day. Um, in this video, I want to address three who questions. Uh, who creates frequency distribution tables? Who reads frequency distribution tables? And who generally ignores frequency distribution tables? I think the answer to these three questions, the answers to these three questions, are very important for those who are writing dissertations, and they often get left behind. Um, so who creates frequency distribution tables? Well, the reality is, most of the time it's you. A lot of graduate students get roped into building and creating frequency distribution tables. I know when I was a graduate student, sometimes that's all I did all day was build frequency distribution tables for a professor. They'd bring in some data, and hey, I know I ran it in SPSS, or in one case, one professor that didn't even know how to use SPSS would just sit there and say, build me these tables. So graduate students get a lot of practice building frequency distribution tables. The problem that I see with that is often that means they start picking up some bad habits. What I need you to understand is all frequency distribution tables need to be generated to fit and be consistent with your style guidelines, APA, Chicago, IEEE. The, the secondary problem is many of us will identify those guidelines through some sort of online scurry check. Or I'll look at a journal and I'll go, well, this journal says they follow IEEE or APA. Therefore, what they do in that journal, that's APA, and this is how I'm going to build all my tables. That's not accurate. As you create these tables, you need to be aware that the style can be fluid in the journals. And so you want to go back to places like the APA manual or the style manual for Chicago Style Manual. A great resource is obviously the OWL at Purdue. If you're not familiar with it, you need to be familiar with it because you're going to be generating a lot of tables and a lot of frequency distribution tables as a graduate student. And it's a great opportunity to start developing some good skills. So that leads to the question of who reads frequency distribution tables. Okay. The answer to that is pretty much everybody. I can tell you from personal experience that a lot of professors love frequency distribution tables for the simple matter that they're busy, they've got a lot of things going on, and frequency distribution table is very simple to understand regardless of your level of statistical understanding. Frequency distribution tables are fairly simple to interpret. So almost everybody reads them, from the first year graduate student to the 80-year-old college professor. But the reality is that 80-year-old college professor probably reads it a lot more than the first year grad student. So if you want to impress your professors, an easy way to do it is to learn how to build a really good frequency distribution table. They really notice that sort of stuff. So I can't stress it enough. Learn to build a good frequency distribution table. Your professors will glow on you and you'll feel good, and it's not a bad habit to have. Last question. Who generally ignores frequency distribution tables? I hate to say this, but it's usually the people who don't understand statistics that well, which includes a lot of graduate students and a lot of first year or young college professors. You need to be careful. A lot of people who have a moderate understanding of statistics, they've got enough information to be dangerous. And so they typically will ignore these frequency distribution tables, and they want to get to the sexy tables. They want to get to the HLM tables or the SEM tables, and they want to have these discussions. The reality is a good frequency distribution table can give me a lot of that same information that's in the SEM table and can structure my discussion accordingly. So if you ignore frequency distribution tables, you're ignoring a very important part of a story that we can learn through data analysis. And if you do that, it's going to be rather difficult for you later when you want to say, well, I didn't see this, or I didn't understand that. When you see a frequency distribution table, take the time to evaluate it and think about what it is that they're really trying to say, because frequency distribution tables are often left out of articles. So if it's there, it's probably there for a very good reason. Frequency distribution tables are very common in dissertations. So if it's there, make use of it. A lot of your, as I've said earlier, a lot of professors, older professors, love frequency distribution tables. Give them what they like. If you do, human nature takes over, and they're more likely to, at worst, go, well, at least you're good at what you do. At best, what they may do is give you some extra credit, make you feel better about yourself. In this video, we really haven't touched on the internet, and I'm not going to, because really, who uses frequency distribution tables? When you go to the internet, it gets kind of fuzzy because almost everybody uses it, regardless of the level of intensity in terms of their research. And so it gets really weird. You start looking at some crazy data, and it's hard for me to express the importance of it when you've got these silly frequency distribution tables that don't really follow any style and provide a lot of misleading information. Bottom line, when you're talking to your professors, if you have a frequency distribution table and it's properly formatted and it presents some interesting information to them, that's a great conversation starter. Hope this video has answered some questions related to frequency distribution, the why of them, the who of them. If you have any questions, love to hear them. Otherwise, hope you have a good day.